Welcome back to Born to Explore. In this video, we're going to share with you our thoughts and experiences after one full week on the road. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Maddie, and we're Born to Explore.
We've been on the road for one full week now. We started out in Florida near Jacksonville and worked our way up through Georgia. We were in North Carolina, and now we are sitting comfortable in Tennessee. So what we want to do is share with you kind of some of our expectations going into van life, kind of how those changed, some of the best parts and the worst parts. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So what do you think has been the hardest part of van life so far?
I think hygiene. We went a few days longer than not taking a shower than I originally thought we were going to. This first week has been cold and rainy, so we haven't really been able to take our shower like we thought we were going to. What do you think for you? What's the hardest part been for you?
Yeah, I think I would say the same thing. We built kind of a custom little shower. We have the pump sprayer shower modification with kind of like the little sink faucet handle, so it's kind of like a shower. And I thought we'd be using that every few days. We'd be off the grid down a long dirt road and it would just be super easy to shower. It has not been that easy. It's either freezing cold, and even I think if we boiled water, just being wet in the cold would be absolutely horrible. So we've not even had a chance to use it. I don't even think we've put water in it yet. So yeah, it's been a lot more difficult. What we ended up doing was finding a campsite that was something like 6 miles from where we are right now and paying them to use for both of us, so I guess $5 a person to use their shower. And it's a little bit more expensive, a little bit more than what we wanted to pay, but we could stay in as long as we wanted. It was nice hot shower, so
we were a little desperate too.
Yeah, I don't know if we should share it or not, but it had been like 6 days since we had taken a shower. I mean, we use those baby wipes and keep ourselves as clean as we can without taking a shower. But yeah, there's a big difference between baby wipes and actually taking a nice long shower. So what has been the best part so far?
I think the freedom. Like our first campsite we went to, it snowed, the second day or so that we were there. And we're like, you know what? Let's not deal with this. Let's just go to another place. And I mean, we drove 5 hours, so it was like a long road trip, but just to be able to pick up and go whenever we want has been so nice and so freeing. And yeah, I mean, we both were working full-time jobs before this, and so feeling that like chill and being relaxed and just going with the flow has been so nice and so refreshing. And I think even easier getting back into that than I thought. I thought it was going to take me like a whole month to chill out, but it only took like yesterday, so like a week. So what are some things that we've already changed or that you want to change about our build or our routine or, just anything?
I think the biggest change from what I thought we would be doing to what we're actually doing is actually right behind Maddie. So we had actually done a full video on using our hot plate, using our batteries and solar in order to cook. Prior to us leaving, we were having a lot of trouble with keeping our batteries charged without having any draw on them other than the fridge. And so we didn't want to have to worry about that. We knew when we'd be leaving, we'd be going into Georgia with cloud and snow and cold weather. So we didn't really expect to be able to use our solar panels as much. And so we ended up buying an $18 Coleman butane stove. The little canisters are $3 approximately a piece at Walmart. And so far, one canister has lasted us around 5 days, 4 to 5 days. So to us, that was a worthwhile investment. I didn't want to spend too much on a propane stove. It's just a 1-burner butane stove, and it is awesome.
Troy, that really distracted me. He's like crying or dreaming back there.
So what has been the biggest surprise to you so far since we've been on the road?
I want to say finding places to dump our waste.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So right before we left, my dad crawled up in his attic and got us one of those little Coleman porta potties, with like the top part for the flushable water and the bottom part to kind of hold everything. And we thought we were originally going to go, we had just a bucket, and that's what we were planning to use. Thankfully, we do have the porta potty, but it fills up really quickly.
Yeah.
And trying to find a proper place to dump it has been slightly difficult.
Yeah.
The campsite we're at right now is actually an amazing campsite. They have heated restrooms and all that. They have a campground host here. It's completely free, but there's no dumping. So we actually had to drive a little bit to a restroom and dump everything and clean it in the bathroom there. So it's been a little bit more difficult than we thought.
So what do you think we've been like spending this last, week and a half? Do you think we're spending more or less than you thought, or because you were the one doing the budget and all that?
I think it's hard to say exactly what we've been spending for this first week, and I say that because we bought a lot of stuff in advance prior to leaving, and so we've done some small trips to Walmart, but we haven't done like a major shopping trip where we just need to restock everything yet.
Mm-hmm.
We just did kind of some minor shopping here and there, like $20 here and there at Walmart. So I think it's kind of hard to say what our normal spending will be. I don't think we'd be able to take this week and apply it to all of our future weeks. What I'd really like to do is start in April and just track every penny, week by week, and then move to month by month and just see exactly what we're spending in every area of our budget.
So I know this first week we've been kind of moving fast because of the weather. We're trying to avoid the snow and the rain, but what do you think our pace is going to be like in the future? Like winter, how many days are we going to stay? And
That's a good question. So I think my original thought prior to us leaving was that we would be staying, a week at a time at a place. We thought our first campsite we were going to stay at for 2 weeks.
yeah.
And the weather kind of dictated how long we would stay. And I didn't think that would play as much of a factor in our pace or how often we travel or how far we drive to our next campsite. But it really has. So I would like to think, staying at least 3 days at a campsite to really get an idea of the area, meet the people, find out what there is to do. I think 3 days at least minimum to kind of see an area. But yeah, this first week would not be a good judge of that. I think our first campsite we stayed at for 3 days, 2 days. I think it was 3 days, 2 nights. Yeah. Second campsite I think was the same thing, 3 days, 2 nights, and a lot of the movement there had to do with weather. We ended up skipping a few campsites in between to drive further, just to get further away from the colder weather to get out of the mountains. So
we escaped the snow, but not the rain. It's actually raining right now.
If you guys are wondering why we're filming this in the van instead of with beautiful scenery behind us, it's because I don't know if you guys could hear it at all, but it is actually raining outside. So maybe we'll give you guys a shot of that. So we've got Troy and everything just kind of cooped up in the van for a little bit. So far, how would you say van life lives up to your expectations?
I feel like I'm liking it more than I thought it would in a lot of areas. Like the cooking, I like more than I thought I was going to. And then even living in a small space, it honestly hasn't been that bad. I've had one day, I think, where I was like, I need to go take a walk by myself because this is just too much craziness. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm liking it more than I thought I would. Another thing, in a negative way, is sleeping. I thought I would sleep better, and I've been sleeping horrible. Like last night, I slept 3 or 4 hours, and it was like super scattered. I was up from like midnight to 4 a.m. and thankfully I had some coffee and I'm fine now. But yeah, I feel like I'm not sleeping as well as I thought I was going to.
For me, how does van life live up to my expectations? I thought we would be able to get signal good enough to, if we needed a mobile hotspot to connect our laptop to Wi-Fi, if we wanted to upload a video or to make a post on social media, that we would have enough, cell signal to do that. And that has not necessarily been the case. Our first 2 campsites, well, our first campsite, I couldn't even send a text. Maddie had to send the text, and it was few and far between. It wasn't very consistent. The second site, Maddie was able to text a little bit more consistently, even had a phone call for a short time, walking a little bit away from where we were actually camped, got some signal. but I was hardly getting any signal, and I absolutely was not able to get on the web at all. It took forever to load, or sometimes wouldn't even load. So yeah, I think that was way different than what I expected it to be.
Yeah, our last video, just, you know, the 2-minute update, I was trying to do that from my phone. I recorded it on my phone, I edited it on my phone, but I couldn't upload it, and it was so annoying. So we had to, you know, make a trip into town and do that, which was good because we got accomplished a lot of things. We'll definitely have to make, you know, specific trips for these videos.
Yeah.
We have to go into town.
Yep.
At least where we are right now.
And so this is probably a good question for you. How would you say our relationship has been since being cooped up in the van, traveling, being with each other 24/7?
I mean, I think good for the most part. I am the type of person that, like, I get annoyed really easily with, like, little things like Brandon fidgeting, or which he does all the time, or chewing loudly. But I mean, that's my fault, not his. But anyways, so that's been a little challenging, like being so close, like always hearing and like seeing that kind of stuff. But I mean, for the most part, I feel like it's been good. Like this morning, it's been like a perfect morning.
Yeah.
That's pretty good on no sleep. Usually pretty rude with no sleep. What did you think?
Yeah, I think good. I mean, everybody told us this and we knew this, you know, like as opposed to when we're both working full time and we only get, you know, 4 to 5 hours with each other in the afternoons, you know, and even then it's like we're cooking dinner, we're, you know, getting ready for the next day, all that stuff, you know, to switching to you're with each other 24/7. I feel like, you know, it's the little things that could end up becoming big things. And so we've just been learning and reminding each other that the little things are not that big of a deal. Especially for me, I make a big deal out of the small things. When something goes wrong, it's really easy for me to get stressed and blow something out of proportion. So just those little reminders that it really isn't a big deal. When I feel like I'm being rushed or we're in a rush and we got to get somewhere, really we're not. It's pressure that we put on ourselves. So just having that reminder, I think, has been good, and I feel like we've been getting better with that and not lingering on, you know, the little things.
Yeah, so it's funny, like, realizing from the lifestyle that we used to live, where it was like there's always pressure, you always had to be somewhere at a certain time, people were counting on you, you had appointments to go to, like all that stress. It's like trying to detox from that and like live differently. Like seriously, we're so free right now, it's ridiculous. I don't want to look back and be like, man, I wish I was, you know, more happy or didn't stress as much.
I think one other really cool thing to note, I don't know that it's in any specific category, but the people that we've had the opportunity to meet and hang out with, I think it was 2 days ago, we just complimented someone's van, you know, another van person. There's a lot of actual like RVs around us, and just commented their van, and you know, they invited us over to check it out. Really cool build. We ended up sitting and talking with them. We showed them our van. They invited us to hang out the next day. They introduced us to some of their other friends who have an amazing bus. It's like a whole family. They've been doing it for 3 years. They have this awesome bus, which hopefully we'll be able to check out the inside today. But we just hung out and talked, you know, just really cool people. So I feel like that's just been awesome too, is we're both kind of, well, probably more me, but I would rather be, you know, by myself and secluded and not have to deal with, you know, a bunch of people or be in like a big city. I'd rather be kind of out away from that. But it's just been super cool. We're able to interact and just have great conversations and learn from each other. That's been another thing, is just learning from each other. It's just been really cool. So we really want to hear from you all. So if you guys have any specific questions for us, please leave us a comment below. What we might end up doing is taking some of those questions. We'll do our best to answer them in the comments, but we might actually take some of those and put together a video, maybe even a live video, where you guys can tune in and interact and ask more questions live, and we'll answer them live. So please leave us a comment below.
Thanks for watching, guys.
And please like and subscribe if you have not already.
Remember, we were born to explore.